to be a wake-up call. The people in the orangish countries aren't replacing themselves. They have sub-replacement birth rates. You probably already saw it on the map, but there is only one region in the globe that will have net population growth. 6 countries are going to be responsible for over half of all global population growth by the end of the century. 5 of those are in Africa. It's hard to exaggerate just how much that's going to scramble the geopolitical landscape by the end of the century.
Men are being arrested for refusing to have kids. As the birth rate is collapsing rapidly, we're beginning to see all of the craziest proposals being made now. A second state has now begun pushing another bill to have men arrested and punished for no longer wanting children. Today's video is really going to break down the implications of how men refusing to have kids is going to destroy society and society's response. So watch it in this video to fully understand these situations. Also, don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. You never really know what can happen on this platform, so go ahead and follow us on Rumble. It's linked in the description of this video. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video after a message from Angry's Crypto Academy and the Angry Guy Clubhouse. So many of you guys know what's going on right now. You know, hard times have arrived. The ATMs will stop working. The banks will chain the doors. Protect your wealth and safeguard your future with crypto. Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. We'll tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. Don't miss out. The Academy is linked in the description of the video. And also, guys, in addition to crypto, don't forget to check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse. We empower men with smart strategies to start an online business with little to no investment, master finance, generate passive income, and thrive as expats, and create income streams while traveling. You can join us for invaluable insights and actionable tips to transform your life, and you can click the link in the description of the video to check that out. So check out the Clubhouse and start your journey today with crypto or starting your own business and creating passive income. Now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Democratic State Representatives Anita Somani, an OBGYN from Dublin, and Tristan Rader of Lakewood.
The whole entire point of this bill is to call out the hypocrisy of particularly the state legislature when they bring forward bills to regulate women's bodies.
Now, there are exceptions to the proposed law, which include sperm donation, contraception, and members of the LGBTQ community. Men face a maximum $10,000 fine after the 3rd offense.
Do you catch this now? So basically, if men ejaculate without the permission of a woman, unless it's for the purpose of getting a woman pregnant, they will now be incarcerated. I think we actually skipped over that part a little. Check that out.
Sponsored by Democratic State Representatives
to regulate women's bodies.
Now there are
it was cut off a bit in the beginning, but they'll continue.
There are exceptions to the proposed law, which include sperm donation, contraception, and members of the LGBTQ community. Men face a maximum $10,000 fine after the 3rd offense if they have sex with a woman without the intention of conceiving a child.
Men have the same rights no matter where they go in the country. Women have rights based on where they live.
It just misses the most basic biological facts and leans in towards middle school humor.
Austin Beigel with End Abortion Ohio calls the proposal disrespectful to the pro-life community and a waste of state resources.
They have to review it when they file it. They're going to have to stick a legal team on it, wasting time on that and delaying other bills that are trying to be reviewed as well.
ABC6 asking viewers about the proposal in an online poll. 26% said it's a good idea. 74% telling us it's a waste of time.
This may be considered a waste of money by some people, but we have had far bigger misuse of taxpayer money in bills that have been proposed and passed.
The final draft still being written. The proposed legislation will get a hearing after it's submitted. But with a Republican-controlled legislature, the bill not expected to go anywhere.
For this particular bill, that's certainly okay. Again, the whole point of this bill wasn't to get it passed. The whole point of this bill was to call out the hypocrisy.
Yeah, guys, notice that there are exceptions for the LGBTQ community. So this is a bill directly targeting heterosexual men. This bill screams discrimination, and yet this is what's being allowed. Now, keep in mind, this is the second bill. A bill like this was already was already pushed through in Mississippi, and it was the exact same terminology. Guys, this is moving very, very rapidly. The reason why they are doing this is because men are opting out of society, men are refusing to subsidize women, men are refusing to have children, and now there is the panic. Okay, you have over 100 million women in just China, for example, that are childless, single, leftover women, and they have no way of survival. Look at the United States right now. Women are heading to a period of extreme poverty and destitution because the state is no longer going to subsidize them. So of course they're trying to go back to their normal thing, which is using men to subsidize women and subsidize society, because men pay 80% of all taxes, women make 80% of all consumer purchases. But now men and society, men and the state are losing access. No, the state and women are losing access to the resources of men. So what are they going to do? They're going to basically try to punish men by going after our bodies, our ability to utilize self gratification, to demonize us, and to also make us fear, what will happen if we do not, if we are not physically intimate with a woman or try to be physically intimate with a woman. This is, again, guys, they're introducing these bills rapidly now, the exact same bills to try to control men because they are refusing to have children. And by not having children, it makes it much more difficult for the state to extract wealth and resources from them. Because if a man will not be physically intimate with a woman, well, then it becomes if a man is not going to be physically intimate with a woman, then he's not going to want to be in a relationship with a woman. And if a man doesn't want to be in a relationship with a woman, then what's the state going to do? How can the state extract wealth and resources from men who are refusing to work, refusing to have children, refusing to get into relationships? It basically, it throws an entire monkey wrench in everything that they do. So now they're trying to come after us as a result. We're also seeing the global population beginning to collapse. The replacement rate in the United States is 1.6, which is far below the replacement level of 2.1, which is needed to maintain a steady population. So the average woman needs to have 2.1 children over the course of her life to replace the population. So basically she replaces herself, the man, and there's like the 0.1 is basically a precaution for the children that will pass away during childhood. So like a lot of Gen Xers, a lot of us passed away, didn't make it to adulthood. Like, we're the ones who survived. I'm one of the ones who survived. So women need to have about 2.1 children over the course of their lives to maintain the population. The replacement level in the United States is 1.6. In China, it's 1.2. In China, it's 1.2. It's like 1.25. Oh, in South Korea, I think it's actually now less than 1, which is absolutely insane. So like many Western and Westernized countries are dying off. So now they're trying to introduce these bills. Look at what they're doing with video games, where they're trying to punish single men for playing games. Men are being arrested for playing games. They're being monitored while playing games. They're being monitored while watching YouTube videos. So now they're trying to come after our bodies, and they're trying to punish us for not making children anymore, for not getting married anymore, for not being in relationships anymore. And they're basically going to try to fine us extraordinary amounts of money as a result of this. It's absolutely disgusting. Will this bill actually pass? Even if the bill itself does not pass, ultimately they can end up going for some other concessions. It's about sending fear and a message to men and boys that we own you, we own your bodies, and if you refuse to allow us to use them the way that we choose to, then we are going to punish you, and you're going to face extraordinary consequences for this. That's exactly what it's about. It's about making men and boys afraid. That's what it's about, instituting fear inside of them and putting women back on top, or keeping women on top.
Ohio lawmakers looking at a full plate this session. Several bills expected to focus on reproductive rights and abortion. One already raising a lot of eyebrows. Legislation that would make unprotected sex a felony for men who do not have the intention to get a woman pregnant.
I think we're overstepping our boundaries a little bit. Someone's private life is their private life.
I think that's a very interesting idea, but I don't know if it would be taken seriously, but I feel like it should be.
The bill, named the Conception Begins at Erection Act.
Do you hear what she says? I don't know if it'd be taken seriously, but I think it should be. So there are a lot of women who are now in support of this idea of controlling the bodies of men and ensuring that men are no longer allowed to self-gratify without unless it's for the purpose of reproduction, unless it's for the purpose of reproduction and fertilizing. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this is being pushed by the liberals, by the Democrats. And then they wonder why they lost the election. I don't know, guys. Guys, women are heading into the worst period of time, probably in the history of humanity for them. You know, the only other time that was like this was probably the Dark Ages, because they're no longer going to have men to subsidize their living. Guys, hard times are here. Inflation is going through the roof. It's continued to go up. Like, I look at like ordering food online. It's like, what the hell is this? Like, you know, a Whopper, not even a double Whopper, not even a triple Whopper, is like $10 now. $10. Who the heck is ordering this stuff? Who's buying this food anymore? You know, a McDouble is like $7-8 now. And you know, they're doing things like surge pricing. Like, who's ordering this food? Like, who's able to afford this stuff anymore? I don't eat fast food anymore. You know, I cut fast food out of my life, but I'm just giving you an example. Like, even buying stuff from the grocery store, what would have cost me, you know, 50, $60 a few years ago, 5 years ago, that's a $300 bill right now for food at the grocery store. I mean, you should not have to go shop at special. You should not have to go and shop at like special grocers and have to go hunt for extreme deals to have to be able to afford your groceries. Like, this is insane. So, guys, hard times are here. The ATMs are going to stop working. The banks are going to chain the doors. And the only way that you're going to be able to protect your wealth and safeguard your future is going to be with crypto. And Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. We'll tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. So don't miss out on the opportunity. And there's actually a specific coin that I've been talking about, a dark horse crypto that virtually no one is talking about, which will mint you millionaires in the upcoming bull run. You can click the link in the description of the video below to find out which crypto this is, and join the academy. Because, guys, we're at the end right now. All right, you better be prepared. You better have money on hand. You better be taking care of your business. Also, guys, while speaking of business, you should also check out the Angry Guys Clubhouse. We actually empower men with smart strategies to start an online business with little to no investment, master finance, generate passive income, and thrive as expatriates and create income streams while traveling. So you can actually join us for this invaluable insight and actionable tips to transform your life. You can click the link in the description of the video to check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse and start your journey today, building a business and creating new streams, as well as learning how to become an expat so that you can live comfortably overseas and generate an income stream while you're also traveling or living overseas. I mean, guys, things are. I made a video many years ago called "Men Leaving the West," where I predicted that men would begin leaving Western society, and it seems inevitable that a lot of men are going to have to do it. While some of you are like, "Well, I'm not going anywhere," there are a lot of men today who will have no choice. A lot of women, in fact, unless they want to end up living in Tyrone tent cities, or in the case of China, Hung Lo tent cities, where Tyrone and Hung Lo are the kings of tent city. When they are hungry, they will eat. When they are thirsty, they will drink. When they want some loving, they will get some loving, because Tyrone are the kings of tent city, and they are going to rule tent city with an iron fist. It's not a game, it's reality, and it's going to be a miserable state of affairs for everyone, specifically for women and broke boys who don't listen, don't get their lives together, and don't make sure that their finances are straight.
Co-sponsored by Democratic State Representatives Anita Somani and OB.
Yeah, I mean, it's a joke. It's a damn joke. It's a damn joke what's happening, and this is happening because the global population is collapsing. The population in these countries, the populations in these states, they're beginning to collapse, and we're seeing that panic.
For example, when you think of Europe, you probably think old, wealthy nations, kind of an offsetting power block in geopolitical affairs. But Europe's population is projected to fall by 40% by the end of the century. All of Europe combined will have fewer people than the United States. And that's reflected in these lists. The only non-Asian or African country that is going to be on the list in 2100 is the US. Why is America exceptional in this regard? It's because our true superpower is immigration. We're making up for our sub-replacement birth rate by bringing in immigrants at a much higher rate than peer nations. This fact should also blow your mind. Okay, so those lists were based on dated information from China. Basically,
just to be very clear, we say our superpower is immigration, but the problem is that with immigration, we're changing the American culture. And all of these different cultures that are coming into the United States, they are changing the way that we think. They're changing our perception. It's not a good thing. All right. Immigration, getting the best, the crop of the crop, the best of the best, the creme de la creme is valuable. But bringing in people, for example, what Biden did, where he let in 30 million people that, didn't have to actually did not actually have to pass any type of screening or rigor to be here. That's not creating value or wealth. That's creating disparity, and that's creating disparity, despair, and destitution, because many of their kids will not produce anything of value, and these people will now become burdens upon the American society, and we're going to have to subsidize their living. It's a nasty situation. So thinking that endless amounts of immigration is going to save us is not going to. We're not getting the creme de la creme. We're getting burdens that we're going to have to subsidize indefinitely, and that's only going to result in more money printing, and more money printing means that the value of our dollar will continue to fall, and that means that it's going to become, we're basically SLAVEs that are subsidizing everyone else. It's a very horrible and evil thing that's occurring right now.
They lied about their population statistics. We now have new data, and the current projections are that China, by the end of the century, will have about the same population as Nigeria. Think about that for a second. The way you and I have learned over the last 20, 30 years to view China as a rising global and economic powerhouse is how our children and their children will learn to view countries like Nigeria. Now, none of this is fully set in stone. In fact, the countries that right now choose to let in as many immigrants as they can are going to have a huge economic and geopolitical edge 50 years from now. Here's the thing. Our politics are wildly out of date. It is going to be bizarre to future generations to think that their parents and grandparents, us, were talking about trying to restrict the number of immigrations that were coming. It'll seem so obviously idiotic to them. Consider yourself a patriot or a nationalist. The best thing you can do to keep America great for your children and children's children is to welcome more immigrants, especially from Africa.
Do you hear this insane? Do you hear this insane belief? So basically, we need to welcome as many children as we can, especially from Africa, so that they can come and repopulate our country. Guys, we have to be careful. We are at a crossroad right now. All right, we have to be so careful, because as you can see, these people are specifically on the left. They don't like us. They want to destroy our way of life. They want to destroy everything around us, and they're the ones who are making these horrible decisions that are now going to lead us into extraordinary states of poverty, despair, and destitution. Modern women are cooked. Modern women have made extremely bad decisions, and now they're going to face extreme consequences for those poor decisions. And a lot of men are going to be living simple lives of comfort and luxury because they're getting right with God and focusing on getting their money instead of trying to get into a relationship with women. And you're going to see a lot of guys who are going to be doing crypto day trading, focusing on building their wealth up, generating passive income, and not focusing on trying to and not focusing on women. And they're going to be living simple lives of luxury and comfort, because the average man can live happily and comfortably in a shoebox at the side of the road. The average woman, however, cannot. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now. One of the things that's pretty interesting, as I've pointed out, is that we're now beginning to see men get arrested, for just doing things like playing video games. Why are they targeting men? Why are they watching men while they're playing video games? It's simple, because they are now panicking because men are opting out of society, but they're trying to go after anything that men enjoy, and that takes the attention away from women and society, and allows men to just basically live their best lives without a relationship.
About this story through my friend Isabel Brown. She posted it on her Instagram, and whoo boy, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security have decided to start coordinating with different gaming companies so that they can root out extremist content and behaviors.
Sorry, Call of Duty fans. The Government Accountability Office says that the FBI and DHS should use the same strategy that allowed them to police extremism on social media to regulate the gaming industry.
Don't they have more important things to be doing? Anyway, Intercept was the first to write about this, and they went into more detail, saying the gaming companies are coordinating with the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security to root out so-called domestic violent terrorist content, doing God's work. This article also quoted Hassan Piker. It might be one of the only times that I've remotely agreed with him, but he said, all I can think of is the awful track record of the FBI when it comes to identifying extremism, said Hassan Piker. They're much better at finding vulnerable teenagers with mental disabilities to take advantage of. I mean, yes, and saying that their track record is awful is just putting it mildly. Another guy commented, and he said, isn't this good? Am I missing something? Okay, you sweet, sweet spring chicken.
Are coming for you. Wake up.
Okay, so I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the federal government just said that they're going to be spying on you playing video games to combat extremism. It seems the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are going to be partnering with gaming companies to fight extremist gamers. Government Accountability Office says that the FBI and
how the fuck you get a shotgun? That's what I'm saying. What the hell?
Yeah, guys, I mean, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. They don't want to see us happy. They don't want to see us have any. They want to punish us. They want to punish us as men for walking away from society, for choosing not to have relationships anymore, for basically going our own way.
Federal government just needs to find any single way just to watch everything you're doing. The FBI and the DHS partner with gaming companies to fight, quote, extremist gamers. According to the Government Accountability Office, a nonpartisan agency that audits other government departments on behalf of Congress, the FBI and DHS should use the same strategies that allow them to police extremism on social media to regulate the gaming industry. So they've partnered up with 5 different entities. 2 remain anonymous, but 3 are Roblox, Discord, and Reddit. The United States government currently categorizes violent extremist incidents into 5 distinct groups based on motivation: race and ethnicity, anti-government or anti-authority sentiment. So if you don't like the government, then you're an extremist. Animal rights or environmental sentiment. Abortion-related issues. Like, could that be more vague? What could that, is that like pro-abortion, against abortion? What is that? And other domestic terrorism threats not otherwise defined. So anything, they just deem it. And it goes into a little more detail here. Look at the anti-government one. Domestic violent extremists with ideological agendas derived from anti-government or anti-authority sentiment, including opposition to perceived economic, social, or racial hierarchies, or perceived government overreach, negligence, or illegitimacy. So if you think the government is intruding on your life too far, you're an extremist. And what's weird too is abortion-related violent extremism. It says including individuals who advocate for violence in support of either pro-life and pro-choice. What does that mean? If someone threatens someone to kill them if they don't get an abortion, kill them if they do get an abortion? And then the last category, domestic violent extremists with ideological agendas that are not otherwise defined under or primarily motivated by one or the other domestic terrorism threats.
use the same strategy that allowed them to police extremism on social media to regulate the gaming industry. And the Anti-Defamation League, super reputable, says that 20% of adult gamers and 15% of kids playing games report being exposed to white supremacy while gaming. What constitutes extremism, you may ask? Racially or ethnically motivated violence, anti-government or anti-authority sentiments, animal rights or environmental.
And they wonder why so many men are also choosing to become passport kings and leave Western society. See, that's another thing, guys. They want these men arrested for playing video games. They want these men arrested for watching YouTube videos, specifically red pill content. They want these men arrested if they if they refuse to have children, that's really what it is. If they refuse to have children, if they refuse to be physically intimate with a woman, they want men arrested for leaving the country, for becoming passport kings and walking away. Because this is a society that absolutely hates us. It does not like us, and it's throwing everything it can at us it's throwing everything that it can at us to instill fear, intimidation, so that it can gain compliance.
So the Passport Bros is gaining more and more popularity, and honestly the ladies are not happy about it. And one of the reasons I think it's getting so much pushback from women is because what this is going to mean is that ladies are not going to just have more competition. They're going to have more competition when it comes to dating and mating. There's going to be more options available for men, and I think for many ladies that just makes them feel a little bit uneasy, if I'm just being honest. First of all, the idea of dating and mating being competitive in general is not anything that we grew up hearing. A lot of women grew up hearing they're the prize, they just have to be, and the man will just magically show up, that, their presence isn't up. Like, we heard these things, and so the idea of competing, or the idea of, making yourself available, or different, things that you would do to make yourself desirable to another partner is very foreign, especially for Black women. And so now fast forward and you have this whole group of men that are saying, hey, you aren't willing to work with us. Fine, we're going to go abroad and find women who are. It's like a mixture of shock and disdain and disgust. And how dare you do this? Like, you're going to make us have to compete? How dare you? So the thing is, I don't think it's going anywhere. I legitimately do not think that this movement is going anywhere. If anything, I think it's going to grow. And this is just the way of the economy of the world. So many things are globalized. Jobs being one of them, different career opportunities, and of course, relationships is going to be one of them. So I just think it's making a lot of women uneasy. And the good news is, if you are a good woman, whether you in the USA or you are in, Europe, or you are in Asia, Africa, whatever, if you're a good woman, there's going to be no shortage of men who really want to, be with you, especially in a society now where it's like there's a lot of women who just don't even want to have families. If you're a woman who doesn't want to have a family and does have the character and the qualities to do so, like, you're not going to have any problems. But the reality is, what worked 50, 60, maybe even 10 years ago when it came to finding somebody, it's not going to work today. Things are just strictly different. Things just are not the same. And I think instead of trying to shame dudes or trying to find ways to detour them from doing what they have already decided they're going to do, it might be more productive to just try to understand what's going on. At least listen. Even if you don't like the Passport Bros, at least try to listen to their complaints, hear where they're coming from, and then from there you might be able to figure out, okay, how to navigate in this space.
Hey, it's your boy Hood. Check it out. To the Black women. Why y'all so angry at the Passport Bros? What you angry at them for? You all said that you don't want to be bothered with them. You said you're independent. You got your own house. You got your own car. You got your own bag. You don't need them. So now that the Passport Bros went off and then actually got women who appreciate them, who honor them, who respect them, who treat them like they're men. They went and got women who have feminine moves in them, who are real women. What you angry about? All they did was what you told them to do. You told them go on about their business, and that's exactly what they did. They went on about their business. What you angry about? Your request has been granted. Passport Bros went out and did their thing. And you can tell that they are very successful at it because you are angry. Baby, let it go. Let it go. You dug that hole. Live in it. Them brothers gone take care of their business. You asked for it, and you got it. Passport bros, do your thing, player. Yep, yep.
Women brought this reality upon themselves. They said, man, we don't like you, man. We don't want you, man. We don't need you. So men said, okay, cool, we're out. And now they're like, wait, what are you doing? How dare you leave? You can't go. You belong to us. We don't belong to you. Yeah, you belong to us. And we will say and do anything to keep you here. All right. And keep you obeying and serving. This is, guys, this is the way that modern, and this is something that men didn't realize. They view us as property. They view us as their SLAVEs, and now we are walking away, and there's not much they can do about it. So they're becoming so desperate. They're even trying to introduce bills to punish us if we even release genetic material that is not sanctioned by them, that is not overseen by them. I've said this before, that women operate as agents of the state. Okay, they operate as agents of the state. They do the bidding of the state, and in return, they are given access to wealth and resources. So their job is to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state, and in return, and they can do this through a variety of ways. They can do this through the criminal court system, through the family court system, through the civil court system, through divorce court. The state does not give a damn, because women are overwhelmingly believed, and the state and it's designed to always be in the woman's favor. So because whatever wealth and resources the woman is able to extract from the man, the state gets their cut of it, and then the state is also able to use that as a means of continuing to extract wealth and resources from said man indefinitely. It's a scam. It's one big scam. It's a reverse SLAVE scheme that allows the state to have men operating as its SLAVEs indefinitely. Women get a cut. Simps get a cut because simps operate as agents of the state. Their job is to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state, and they do it by betraying men. They do it by slandering men. They do it by creating hardships for men, and they're given access to women and resources as a result of doing this. All right, because these are men who would usually not even be allowed to reproduce, but they are given the ability. They are now allowed to reproduce in return for destroying the relationship between men and women, for betraying men, for betraying masculinity, for helping to destroy society. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Men are being arrested for refusing to have kids. I believe it's a trend that's only going to continue to get worse. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away, and share.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.